Now, The Hunt Palmer Show.
Waiting to rise again.
You're listening to The Hunt Palmer Show. Brought to you by Quirks, Cajun fried fish and shrimp on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
This is the moment you've all been waiting for.
Locking down the middle of the day. Live from the Raising Cane studio. This is Hunt Palmer.
Welcome in. Hunt Palmer coming to you from the Raising Cane studio downtown in the capital city on this football Friday. That means we're brought to you by Corks, Cajun fried fish and shrimp. Got Jordan Kitchens, Cassie Spazzali back there on the ones and twos. Fired up. You are here with us. Our last home football Friday of the year. These are some of my favorite shows that we do. I tell you that every time there's a home game in Tiger Stadium. And is this one carrying a ton of juice with it? It is not. But I'm still fired up because it's a Friday. The weather's decent. I'm going to take Myers Man to the basketball game tonight, and we'll be in Tiger Stadium one more time tomorrow night. We'll certainly talk LSU and Western Kentucky as the show moves forward. We'll also get to Preston Guy here in 15 minutes. We'll have our NFL table setting, if you will. SEC picks against the spread at the top of hour number 2. Take it or leave it. My final pick for Saints and Falcons is coming up at the end of this hour, and certainly final pick for LSU and Western Kentucky as well. Before we hit our Genesis opening drive, I want to just kind of lay out where I'm sitting right now because I know what you're doing. I don't know you personally, probably. I might, but I don't know most of you personally. But if you're listening to this show, you're locked into our station today, you're probably refreshing Twitter. You're probably texting your buddies. You're probably scouring the message boards, a premium one, Tiger droppings, whatever. You're probably doing that. This is probably not a super productive day across the state of Louisiana. I get that vibe from the people I know. You want answers. 8:15 meeting, noon meeting. It's 1 o'clock. It's Friday. It's D-Day. It's Kiffin Day. Give me answers. Here's where I'm sitting right now. I think it's possible between now and 3 o'clock, we have something to tell you. I won't be reporting it as I'm sitting here doing the show. I'll have seen it on the internet. I don't know that I would use the word likely. I don't think it's likely I have something to tell you. If I have something to tell you between now and 3 o'clock on this show, now Matt's on until 6. That's a little bit of a different animal. That's 5 more hours. In my 2-hour window, if I have something to tell you, my inclination would be that Lane Kiffin and or Keith Carter and or Ole Miss football's official Twitter handle will have sent out a tweet saying that Lane Kiffin signed a contract extension. If something happens in the next 2 hours, I think it's that. If nothing happens, I think you may see the tide turn here towards LSU. That's all conjecture. That's all hearsay. I'm not in Oxford right now. So I give you this. I'm not ignoring that story. I promise you I'm not. But I don't have a lot to add right now at 1 o'clock on Friday other than we feel like the heat has reached a level in Oxford that is going to tip the scales. I don't know which way it's going to go. If you told me Lane Kiffin was going to sign a contract because he had to coach that team in the playoff, I would believe you. If you told me he wanted to coach the team in the playoff, but he also wants to be the LSU coach, and Ole Miss put his feet to the fire and he goes, all right, I'll leave. I would believe that too. I realize that's sitting on the fence. If I had it 90% one way, I'd tell you, but I don't. I'm going to sit on the fence because I think Lane Kiffin is still on the fence. If we hear something in the next 2 hours, either way, I'll let you know, but I'll tell you, I don't feel like that's likely. We'll see. That's on until 6. That could be a different animal. 5 hours on down the road. So, with that said, here's our Genesis opening drive.
It's time for Hunt's opening drive, presented by Genesis of Baton Rouge.
Senior night, tomorrow night, inside Tiger Stadium, LSU in Western Kentucky. I went through this whole song and dance yesterday, and this is a similar beginning to that, but it'll go a little bit further into one aspect of this game. I'm not prepared to tell you that the next 2 games are going to have a significant impact on LSU's football team next year. I'm not 100% sure Michael Van Buren's going to be the quarterback next year. I'm not 100% sure Harlan Berry's going to be running the ball for LSU. Not 100% sure Caden Durham's going to be running the ball for LSU. I'm not 100% sure any of those young offensive linemen up front will be back with a different coaching staff. I'm not here to tell you that DJ Pickett and PJ Woodland are definitely going to be the corners for next year. I'm not here to tell you that I know that Don McKinley and Ahmad Bro are dudes that are going to be more moving forward with LSU. Could be. They could. They'll certainly have that option. I don't know. This is the time of year where we would usually do that. We don't anymore because of the transfer portal. So my inclination is to kind of look at the game at hand with an understanding that the future is uncertain. Tomorrow, in this game, LSU and Western Kentucky, I'm looking at one aspect of it just for, call it personal satisfaction. Call it fandom. Call it too little too late. Certainly would be. But I want LSU to bully somebody. Bully somebody. And this Western Kentucky team is prime for being bullied on the ground. Statistically, you look at Western Kentucky, and they rank 11th of 12 teams in Conference USA against the run. Now, there are times in September where maybe if you're a group of 5, group of 6 team, and you've played 2 Power 5 teams, you played Ohio State and you played USC, you played Ohio State and you played Florida, like you're cashing a big check in September and you get crushed and one of those teams runs for 365 on you and like your stats are way out of whack. That can happen early in the season. Smaller sample size, one huge outlier. But we're now towards the end of the season and Western Kentucky hasn't played a single Power 4 team. They have not played a Power 4 team. This is their only Power 4 game of the year. And they're 11th of 12 Conference USA teams against the run. Look at these statistics. Toledo, the Rockets, ran for 307 on Western Kentucky. Nevada, the Wolfpack, ran for 207 against this Western Kentucky front. Missouri State, I think they're the Bears. Bringing back from my baseball memory, I'm not sure. Missouri State, whatever they are, they ran for 214. In Florida International, the Panthers ran for 249 yards on Western Kentucky. These Hilltoppers have been gashed on the ground. How about running the ball, LSU? I'll tell you what. I go in the press box tomorrow night, and I see Michael Van Buren handing off to Harlan Berry and him ripping off huge runs. I know that's not inching LSU any closer to an SEC championship or a college football playoff berth, but I'd like to see it. I'd like to see the young buck get free, get out in the open, show the speed, bust a 65-yarder, make a safety miss. Just, as I said right there at the open, like for personal satisfaction. We've been following Harlan Berry's recruitment for a long time. There's a reasonable chance he is the face of LSU's running game next year. How about it starts tomorrow night with a really nice go? I thought he looked great in the first half against Texas A&M. I thought he was grounded in the game at Alabama against the substandard SEC rushing defense. Well, you were okay running the ball last week against Arkansas. You were okay. Weren't bad. Weren't great. You were good enough. Busted some big ones. This Western Kentucky defensive front stinks. So your LSU offensive line needs to get to the line of scrimmage and knock these guys out of the way. I look at LSU's stat sheet, and you look at the rushing, and it's just disappointing. Florida, 25 carries for 96 yards, less than 4 yards a carry. Against Southeastern, you run for 135. You got to be better than that against an FCS team. You went to Ole Miss, 22 carries for 57 yards. Terrible. Against Vanderbilt, you ran for 100, which is not going to get you there. Against A&M, 60 yards on the ground. Against Alabama, 59 yards on the ground. If nothing else, take out some frustration on these guys. Get behind your pads, run the football. We heard Frank Wilson say when he took the job, we're going to run the football. We heard LSU's offensive linemen come to player interviews like, we're going to run the football. Well, give it to Harlan Berry. Give it to Caden Durham. Show some creativity in the run game. Like they've done some different things. And just knock Western Kentucky out of the way and run the football. It's just like a stress relief to get that done. That's what I want to see in this game first and foremost. I mentioned that Michael Van Buren's going to be under center. We learned yesterday from Frank Wilson that Garrett Nussmeier's not going to play in this game. Like, yeah, I'd like to see Michael Van Buren throw the ball a little bit, but I'd also like to see him in the read option game, and I'd like to see LSU run the ball. I'd like to write a column after the game about the career high rushing total for Harlem Berry and the great talent he displayed and how that stacks up with some freshman backs of yesteryear. There's nothing else to gain from this. You're playing for pride. You're playing for your seniors. You're trying to conjure up any sort of emotional edge you can get. I understand you can go to Tuscaloosa and play hard and play tough after a bye week with a new coach. I understand you can go out there in front of your home crowd against Arkansas and get that win for Frank Wilson. There's very little outside of senior night to get these guys going against Western Kentucky in a half-empty stadium tomorrow night. So for me, I'm pulling these run numbers up for LSU's offensive line and going, y'all ran for 59 in Tuscaloosa. You ran for 60 against A&M. You ran for 57 against Ole Miss. You played an FCS team, Southeastern. You were only able to run for $135. You want to prove something? You want to take out some frustration? Knock Western Kentucky out of the way like Toledo did, like Florida International and Missouri State did. I understand if you're an LSU fan, you're like, oh, I'd really like to see Van Buren. I think that's the quarterback of the future. And I'm not dismissing that completely, and he'll get his opportunities. I want Barry. I want Durham. I want that offensive line to move forward, push some guys out of the way. That's what I'm looking for on Saturday night in Death Valley. All right, we're off and running here on this Football Friday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show. We're brought to you by Cork, Cajun Fried Fish, and Shrimp. I always love telling you about Cork's. Not too late. If you've got a tailgate tomorrow on campus, you're thinking, just really don't want to bring the grill out there, bring the cooker out there this time around. I understand it's the last time. Maybe just get Corks to help you out. They'll get you those big trays, the crispy fried catfish, jumbo Gulf shrimp, crispy shoestring fries, hush puppies, honey butter rolls, beignet bites, all the sauces your heart desires. Makes tailgating really easy. Maybe you got a watch party for tomorrow. You're going to watch the Tigers and all the other football that's going on. Cork's happy to help you out with that. And if you'd like a late lunch, they can do that for you right now as well, just after 1 o'clock. Get on by Government between Foster and Jefferson. It's Cork's Cajun Fried Fish and Shrimp, and they are online at corksfishandshrimp.com. We will step aside. Preston Guy from tigerbait.com. They've been all over the coaching search. We'll talk to him next.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
Hitter's House at Marucci. Shop, save, and swing into the holidays with Hitter's House Warehouse Sale. The Baton Rouge sale runs November 28th through December 14th. They're offering huge discounts on some of your favorite gear from Marucci, Victus, Balm, Lizard Skins. If you're a fast-pitch softball player, you've got one in your house, you already know about Assura, you've got to go check it out. It's the hottest new fast-pitch bat, and it is taking over. You can have it at the Hitter's House. Looking for footwear, cleats, trainers, so on, off the field, you got it over there at the Hitter's House with Marucci, so you're set up like the pros. You can take hacks in the batting cage, and you can get 24/7 access to the member cages if you become a member. But we want to tell you about the Hitter's House sale coming up November 28th through December 14th at Marucci.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Meredith with Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan & Associates. We take great pride in educating our clients about their rights. Whether you're injured at work or while you drive, call our office at 272-5555. Knowledge is power, and you should know your rights after an injury.
Hi, I'm Sean Fagan of Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan & Associates. When insurance companies have been unfair, we've never been afraid to go to trial. Fighting hard to protect your rights, we never settle a case out of convenience. We only settle when it's right for you. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call.
Men, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can help you look and feel your best. Visit yourgoodwood.com and discover a renewed sense of vitality.
My father, J.B. Falgu, had a vision of growth for First American Bank and the communities we serve. The bank's foundation was built on his legacy of compassion, loyalty, and dedication. Through his years of leadership, First American has prospered to heights even J.B. could not have imagined. I know my father would be extremely proud of the customer service and financial stability that First American provides to Southeast Louisiana. We continue to thrive because of the legacy of J.B. Falgu.
With all the delicious chicken finger options, it was an impossible decision.
How about a box combo? Good. Now what can I get for you?
No, I want a Caniac combo with extra cane sauce, no slaw, 2 extra toast, and a half sweet tea, half lemonade.
Celebrate the holidays with Raising Cane's chicken fingers. One love.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Join us for Friday's AFR live from Don Juan Cigar Bar, presented by Sagamore Spirit Rye. We'll have craft cocktails and, of course, a fine premium cigar. Friday's AFR, presented by Sagamore Spirit.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared towards seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
You're listening to The Hunt Palmer Show, brought to you by Quirks, Cajun fried fish and shrimp.
Get you that broadcast schedule for tomorrow. 6:45 kickoff, LSU and Western Kentucky. So we'll be on Eagle 98.1 game day, 1:45 from Rouse's, Burbank, and Lee. Tune in to Matt Musso and Charles Handegriff from the Rouse's, Burbank, and Lee at 1:45. I'll take over at 4:45 for the LSU Sports Radio Network pregame show. We'll get you to the broadcast of the game 30 minutes after it goes final. Myself, Brandon Taylor, Marlon Favorite will be with you for the Fighting Tiger postgame report. And then 90 minutes after the game goes final, Richard Dixon, Charles Handegriff from right here in the Raising Cane's studio for Eagle 98.1 Game Day's postgame show. So we'll start at 1:45 p.m. till probably about 2 a.m. under the Guarantee family here on 104.5 ESPN and Eagle 98.1. Let's go to the Jim's Firearms Hospital. Preston Guy, TigerBait.com is with us. Preston, how we doing?
Did you just call it the Jim's Firearms Hospital?
Did I?
You did, 100%.
Because I read your text message that said something about a hospital. And that's just how it goes on live radio. You just sometimes read a word. Like, there's all the time I hear someone say something when I'm typing a story, and I type that word that I just heard. And then I look at it and go, I wasn't trying to type that at all. But I saw that you just texted about the hospital. Everything good over there?
We are leaving the doctor for now. No baby right now.
All right.
But it's possible it's today. But we will see.
I mean, anything's possible today. New coaches, new babies in the Guy household. I guess it's just an endless possibility on this Friday. So let's focus on the coach and let your lovely bride handle the other side of things. I know you all have been all over it at Tiger Bait. What's your feeling on a timeline? I know we're all being speculative at this point.
Yeah, from my understanding, they're probably still in a meeting right now. I actually haven't gotten word if it's ended or not. I'm literally at the hospital right now. So it's like, I've the last 30 minutes I've been out of it. But I believe they're still in a meeting discussing his future and figuring out what that fallout's going to look like. So my guess would be, and again, this could be drastically different based on what his decision is, I do believe we're going to get I believe Lane Kiffin will get some clarity as a final decision, right? If it's, okay, we're going to sign an extension and stay at Ole Miss, I think that would come out pretty quickly because there's not really many moving parts to that. Just sign the paper and let's make the announcement because they're going to have an initiative to clear this thing up. I mean, there's a lot of turmoil in Oxford right now. Important people are very upset at all these antics. They want stability. They wish they were focused on possibly winning a national championship. They're set to host a playoff game. I mean, this is a historic season for Oxford. So a lot of people are pissed off this is going on right now. People you don't want pissed off. So if that's the decision, I think things will move pretty quickly because it's like, all right, sign the dotted line, Lane, and let's get the press release out there. And because this is a distraction in their locker room. It is a very known talking point amongst players, and there's been a lot of grumblings in that locker room about this. So that being said, that course would be very quick. the course of option where I'm going to try to drag this out or go somewhere else, that might take a little longer to come to fruition. Maybe it's one of those things where Lane decides and then he has to turn around and then move chess pieces and figure out exactly what's going on. When is he going to leave? Which school, by the way, because Florida is still in play. I still have a high level of confidence that, LSU would be the option, but this is Lane Kiffin, and that's the one thing I cannot emphasize enough. Chaos unmitigated. He is it is a complete wild card. Anybody who speaks with any confidence on anything is a fool who is begging to be made look stupid publicly. It just is what it is. But all that to say, if it were LSU, it would be like, okay, well, now we got to figure out, okay, are you coaching the Egg Bowl? Yes or no? Are they going to let you coach the Egg Bowl? Yes or no? I guess it depends on how smoothly the meeting goes. I can tell you this, they will not let him coach a playoff game unless he signs that extension. So there's a lot more logistics that come out. So I wouldn't be shocked if we hear something later tonight. More likely we would be looking at this weekend or maybe even Monday to hear something more final on that front if he were to leave.
Let me ask you this. How should LSU fans feel if Lane Kiffin comes to Baton Rouge about a coach that left Tennessee after a year, that was let go from Alabama right before the national championship game, that flirted with Auburn and then came back, and then that's doing this and in the middle of a playoff run? Like, how should LSU fans feel about that guy coming to Baton Rouge?
Sure. There's definitely some hesitations. I mean, he's the guy who, he is the word, self-obsessed or narcissist has hit my inbox quite a few times over the last couple weeks. And I think he's 100% a guy. If he sees an opportunity he wants to take, he's going to put his interest first. And it's certainly something to be concerned about. Who's to say if Alabama were to open, he wouldn't just do what it takes to get to Alabama or Texas or Georgia? You just never know with Lane Kiffin, or even an NFL opportunity. Maybe he wants to clear his name on that front. These are absolutely risks. I will counter that with, here's the thing, Hunt. I want you to just close your eyes and imagine all the Louisiana speed talent we've seen over the last 20 years. Odell Beckham, Jarvis Landry, Brian Thomas, Malik Neighbors, Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, and just picture these guys in a Lane Kiffin offense. And let me ask you, does that should strike fear into opposing fan bases, thinking about what Lane Kiffin's offense should be able to do with Louisiana talent. So that is why you go with a Lane Kiffin and you accept this baggage and you still make him the highest paid coach, despite all that. Because at the end of the day, the guy knows his X's and O's and he can put together an elite offense.
To be very clear, I'm pro Lane Kiffin being hired. I just want a perspective on, because there are plenty of LSU fans that are watching this and that have watched him operate. They're like, I don't know about this guy. And I think it's a fair point to make. I'm in the point of just let the guy coach ball, and that's what I want him to do. But it's truly not something that I've ever seen before, and we've never seen it before because we've never had it before because of the 12-team playoff. How confident are you, if Lane Kiffin decides to sign that extension this afternoon, that LSU is comfortable pivoting and has its ducks in a row moving the other direction?
Yeah, I'm not so certain they do have their ducks in a row. It's possible, but I haven't heard too much movement on that front. I'm sure behind the scenes they're doing some research and looking into guys here or there, but I'm not so sure in earnest that they have made their decision on what's the next play. I don't think they're sitting there, all right, wait for the no and then execute on this guy right now, right here, right? I think they've filled out some options and they've got some backup plans, but I don't know that it's that. I mean, it's possible, but I don't think it is.
All right, let's talk about LSU on the field tomorrow night. I've spent the last 2 days saying, these were used to be the games where you would kind of look at what you see and then apply it to next year. With a new coach and the transfer portal, that's really difficult to do. Is there something that you're looking for over the next 2 weeks from LSU?
Well, I'd like to see some young guys ball out and, get some stability going and keep them on your roster, not opt out for the bowl game. I'd certainly like to see that. But in terms of on the field, what I'm looking to see, I'm excited to see Van Buren develop. I mean, he has said he wants to stick around LSU next year with the new coach. And, I'd like to, he showed some promise, although there's definitely some accuracy issues. We talked about it all fall camp, and there's all these accuracy issues are showing up. That being said, Is he playing better than a clearly injured or hurting Nussmeier? Absolutely. He's been playing better than that. I mean, he can make the throws you need to make. It's just, can he start to dial in? I guess what I'm getting at here is, as Van Buren develops experience, is he going to develop, more accuracy as he got more control of the audience, the offense? I'm also looking forward to, how does Harlem Berry, is he going to continue to develop and look sharp and all that jazz? It's just at the point, yes, you want to win. Let's put it like this. You beat Western Kentucky, you secure a winning season. And I do think that matters. It shows you have a high floor at LSU. But more so than that, I'm looking to see if these young players develop and play well and then stay on the team next year, not opt out.
Yeah, that's just the part that you can't know at this point. But we'll see as LSU takes the field against Western Kentucky tomorrow night. Timeline for LSU's next coach. Toss it out there. What do you think? But what's a drop dead? Do you think next Sunday is LSU will have a coach?
So not this Sunday, but the Sunday
after they play Oklahoma, and everybody's played that Saturday.
I would guess so. Yes, especially considering a lot of the names that you're hearing being thrown out there are not head coaches in the playoffs, right? They're either coordinators or they're guys who are head coaches of a team that is not in the playoffs, right? So I would say that is likely. And even if the coaches say, like, let's say you were to go after someone like a Glenn Schumann, right, DC at Georgia, who's in the playoffs, because he's a DC, it makes it easier to say, okay, we're going to name him the head coach, but he wants to stick around for this playoff run. Or maybe even they say, well, look, Glenn Schumann, you're great, but we got Will Muschamp on staff too as an analyst. Yeah, it just there's things that make that easier to do. So yeah, I would say that's more likely than not by next Sunday you'll have a coach named.
I kind of feel that way as well. So we'll see. Best of luck to the Guy family with baby number 2, and we'll talk when we talk next, I guess.
Yep. All right, Hunt. See you soon. When that is.
And that's it. Preston Guy, TigerBait.com, with us every Friday talking football. A lot of anxious moments there in the Guy household. Is I'm getting text messages every 3 minutes on this deal. It's just crazy. The deal is that not everyone knows, and that's the point I keep going back to. And this is not like a sourced thing. It just makes a lot of sense because you've seen how contract extensions get played out. We've seen this year Indiana extend Kurt Signetti. We've seen this year Texas A&M extend Mike Elko. And when that pen hits the paper, bam, there's a tweet out. Like you immediately, they'd use that as a public, to publicize what's gone on as a positive for them. And so when you know that a meeting's happening and you know that you feel like they're in Oxford, Mississippi, they are putting pressure on a decision to be made and no decision is made, that furthers the skepticism that continues to fester. And my point kind of all along since Monday, when we talked about his Saturday press conferences, it's just wild that Lane Kiffin allows this to keep going. And he allowing it to keep going because he wants to coach the team in the playoff and he wants to leave, is my opinion. And he feels like if he just kind of drags, that he might get to have his cake and eat it too, and I just don't think Ole Miss is going to allow that. Ole Miss is not going to let LSU's football coach it in the playoff. And finally, the way that would snap is if he just goes, well, then I just can't go because I got to coach in the playoff. And it just feels that simple to me. I've seen a lot of conspiracy theories. This was tweeted at me yesterday where somebody said, well, what if he's just holding Florida and LSU hostage so that they can't hire a coach and he's just impacting their roster negatively? It's like, brother, you got to understand priorities. The priority is not to screw up LSU's coaching search. The priority would be to go win the national championship and have your team focused and your assistant coaches not ticked off at you and your athletic director not beating down the door for a Friday meeting. You wouldn't intentionally sabotage what you're trying to do to maybe have some sort of adverse effect on LSU in Florida finding a new coach, which they're going to find. It's just, that doesn't make any sense. Like, you can try to make up that hypothetical. It's nonsensical. It doesn't, you wouldn't, that's the definition of cutting off your nose to spite your face. It's like, gotcha nose. And then you look up and you're like, well, I look like an idiot. You would look like an idiot If you were trying to get your team ready for the biggest run in the history of the school, and the whole time you were creating a media circus and a lot of dissent within your team and uncomfortability with your coaching staff and your athletic director and boosters freaking out, and you're sitting here worried about LSU's 2 cornerback commitments, it just that doesn't make any sense. So this is an internal thing with Ole Miss, and we'll see what the resolution is. I don't pretend to have it right now, but it just feels like connecting the dots is the easiest thing to do. And I think if you get something really, really quickly, he'd probably stay. And if you don't, I think he might be calling Baton Rouge. We shall see. We come back, we'll set the stage for the NFL slate coming up next.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
Genesis of Baton Rouge. GenesisofBatonRouge.com is the website. Every car that's on the lot is online at Genesis of Baton Rouge. It's an amazing staff over there at Genesis of Baton Rouge. Been by there on quite a few occasions, and every interaction is so pleasant. I know a lot of folks have this fear of going onto the car lot because you think a salesperson is just going to approach you really quickly and they're going to try to upsell you and make you all these guarantees and take advantage of you, and it's a pushy, uncomfortable process until you finally sign the paper and then you're not sure what just happened. And I get that. Those stereotypes exist for a reason. It's happened before. It's never going to happen at Genesis of Baton Rouge. They will treat you like a guest, not a customer. They are there to help you understand why Genesis is a luxury brand, show you that reasonable price, get you on your way in a Genesis, and make sure you've got access to America's Best warranty, which includes 3 years of complimentary maintenance, and it's valet. Every bit of your experience at Genesis of Baton Rouge is going to be first class because that's the way they run things over there. Their own airline at Piku. You can go by there and chat with them. If you're still a little tentative, that's okay. Go to GenesisOfBatonRouge.com. The entire inventory is right there for your browsing. It's Genesis of Baton Rouge, online at GenesisOfBatonRouge.com.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972. Service Chevrolet Cadillac, our family serving your family.
For over 50 years.
Join us for Friday's AFR live from Don Juan Cigar Bar, presented by Sagamore Spirit Rye. We'll have craft cocktails and, of course, a fine premium cigar. Friday's AFR, presented by Sagamore Spirit.
Attention diesel mechanics. River Parish Contractors has an immediate full-time opening with benefits. Valid licenses and TWIC card is required to apply. Call or text Big Jake today at 985-479-9858 or go to rpcontractors.com and click on Apply Now. Come be part of the team that values hard work, has a high standard of excellence, and delivers projects on time and safely. River Parish Contractors. Let's get building.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. Propane water heaters are very cost efficient, and the savings are even greater with a tankless propane water heater. We all know that Louisiana propane is a safe and environmentally friendly fuel. So why not go green while you save some green? I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and for more information, visit louisianapropane.com.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
In South Louisiana, you can always count on good people coming together to help our children.
At Dreams Come True, we grant wishes for Louisiana children with life-threatening illnesses. But to do this, we need funds.
That's why we're trying to raise $100,000 for Dreams Come True by giving away the Blessed Children's School.
Make your backyard's dream come true while helping our kids.
Just go to dreampoolla.com and you can find out how your $25 donation might help win you a Duplessis pool.
Lock Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates has won for our clients over $175 million over the decades, but our greatest success is our clients who have chosen and trusted us to help them. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call. You've got nothing to lose.
Hi, I'm Sean Fagan. If you get injured, you could be staring at medical bills, repair costs, and lost income. Life can be turned upside down.
This is the Hunt Palmer Show, brought to you by Quirks, Cajun fried fish and shrimp.
An update from the LSU Board of Supervisors meeting today. For those that have not seen this yet, Piper Hutchinson from the Illuminator, Wilson Alexander from the Advocate, both reporting on this a little earlier today. We've got a story up on LouisianaSports.net citing those two reports. We knew the Board of Supervisors was meeting today, and we knew that they were going to meet in private. When there's litigation involved, the Board of Supervisors can meet in private and then come out in public to vote. That's how that works, and certainly there's litigation involved with Brian Kelly as he has essentially filed suit, looked for a judgment on LSU to fire him without cause under the grounds that he was terminated the day after the Texas A&M game. By now you know that LSU came back and said, well, Scott Woodward didn't have the authority to do that. He had to go to the board. The board didn't give him approval. He acted without authority to fire Brian Kelly. So we're going to fire you now with cause. And that's when things hit the courts. And so today, the Board of Supervisors approved LSU's review of Brian Kelly's situation and gave authority to the president, Dr. Roos, to issue written termination papers to Brian Kelly to officially make that termination. This is what I told you 2 weeks ago when this happened. I am not an attorney, and I don't like the world that they live in. I believe that world is disingenuous and doesn't use a lot of common sense at times. So I'm not going to issue my thoughts on this because I think it's just a wild game of semantics that people are trying to play for millions of dollars, and I will let them figure that out. Wasn't my money on the front end, not my money on the back end, whatever. They can handle it. But I'm just telling you that LSU is planning, it appears, to fire Brian Kelly like now for cause. Whether or not they have a case for that, I have no idea. And that'll be in court, and it'll be in public, and we'll see. My gut is, and trust me, I'm not an attorney, that they'll settle for something eventually. But that's where we are in the legal process. So I'll pass that along. If you'd like to read about it, you can over at LouisianaSports.net. But for now, let's have a little bit more fun than that, and let's set the stage for Sunday in the National Football League. Tier 4, worst football of Sunday. Got a couple of games there. Seahawks, they're good. At the Titans, not good. Cam Ward is 33rd. That's last among qualified quarterbacks in QBR this year. Seattle going to Nashville is a 13-point road favorite. You don't see that a lot in the NFL. The Browns are at the Raiders. These two teams are very, very bad. The intrigue here is that Shedeur Sanders will get his first start. You'll never guess this. Brown rookies in their last 17 opening starts, guess what their record is, Jordan, in their last 17?
2-15?
Two too many wins. 0-17 in their first career starts. That is the Cleveland Browns experiment. Good luck with that, Shedeur. Eric Zier was the last rookie Browns quarterback to win in 1995.
I don't even know who that is.
Exactly. Tier 3, Giants are at the Lions. Kelvin Shepard's defense, pretty good. Has not allowed a 300-yard passer this season. Also, has not allowed a 100-yard rusher this season. That's salty work from Kelvin Shepard and the Lions defense. They're at home against the Giants. They should smash that team. The Jets are at the Ravens. The Jets have one takeaway on the season. How is that possible? We're 10 games in. Pick up a fumble. Tip the ball in the air. They got one takeaway. It's the fewest through 10 games all time in the NFL. Lamar Jackson, 17-0 outright as a double-digit favorite. They'll win again on Sunday. Jags are at the Cardinals. Cardinals 3-7. Last week they had 17 penalties. That's not good. Jaguars 6-4. If they win against Jacoby Brissett and the Cardinals, they're 7-4, and two of their next three games are against the Titans and the Jets. Jags are looking like a playoff team right now. We'll see. All right, Tier 2, better football here. We got 6 games to go. The Vikings are at the Packers. Vikings 4-6, Packers 6-3-1. the Vikings' realistic playoff chances kind of rest on this game. If you go to 4-7 this late, I just don't know if you're going to make up that ground in December. Going to Lambeau's not easy, but they're going to have to get it done against Green Bay. The Patriots are at the Bengals. We don't know yet if Joe Burrow is going to play. Why would he go play for a 3-7 team? I don't know, but we'll see how that goes. I just hope they don't rush him. New England is 5-0 on the road this year. They're the only unbeaten road team in the National Football League this season. The Steelers are at the Bears. Aaron Rodgers, who owns the Bears, by the way, has a broken wrist. He might play, though. The Bears have 22 takeaways in 10 games. I just want to juxtapose that against the Jets, who have 1. The Bears have 21 more takeaways than the Jets. Eagles are at the Cowboys. This is a good one. Dak Prescott, this is an amazing statistic for a guy that has not had any postseason success. He's won 18 straight home division starts. Like, that's really hard to do.
That's impressive.
Brady
actually
may have done that. They were beaten up on that division bad. The Dolphins were terrible. Jets were terrible. The Bills were really bad for Josh Allen. Like, he may have, but 18 straight division starts is crazy. We'll see if he can do that against the Eagles in Arlington. All right, Tier 1, 2 games, the best of the weekend. The Colts are at the Chiefs. Danny Dimes, 4 interceptions in the last 2 games. Look, the Chiefs are 5-5. They're teetering here. All 5 losses by 1 score. We watched the Chiefs last year and they went, how do they keep doing this? How do they keep winning and keep winning and keep winning? They're paying the piper this year. They've lost 5 one-score games. Bucks at Rams, Tier 1. Matt Stafford, 20 touchdowns against the blitz this year. The Bucks, Todd Bowles' defense, number 1 in the NFL in blitz percentage. Can they get to Matt Stafford? Is he going to cook them? The Rams are really good, by the way, like real good. I think that might be my Super Bowl team out of the NFC. Not a bold pick. They got the best record in the league, but they're really good. We'll see if the Bucs can go out west and get a win. That is a look at the National Football League. Jordan, how are we feeling about the Rams? Best team in the NFC?
I mean, we'll see what the Eagles look like. If the Eagles can ever
the Eagles are a soap opera.
Yeah, like it.
Put them on Bravo.
Yeah, look, well, also, A.J. Brown's doing his best work to try and destroy that locker room, so
Bravo.
They got to figure all that out. I still like just the Eagles' defense alone, especially getting Jalen Phillips from Miami. It kind of turned them up a little bit. I do like the Rams a lot strictly because, Stafford, what he does, what he brings. He's seen everything. It's the old man, like you said.
I trust Matt Flynn talking about quarterbacks. Matt Flynn says Matt Stafford should win the MVP. I'll take Matt Flynn's word for it. It's better than my word.
I mean, Stafford looks amazing. He's been balling for my fantasy team, so I'm a big Matt Stafford guy this year. But also at the same time, the Bucs kind of sooner or later, they gotta wake up because I hate to say it, Bryce Young is.
Oh, no way.
I know. It's blasphemous for me to say that. I know.
Don't give me any Bryce Young.
I know.
No.
If Tampa loses, this is interesting.
Is the Chiefs dynasty over?
No, because I think they're going to win this game against the Colts. They have to. Well, I'm cheating a little bit. All the handicappers are picking the Chiefs this week, so I'm kind of picking the Chiefs too. But if they lose this game, like you said, it's over. But if they win, you kind of
the dynasty hangs in the balance.
Yes, it does.
In KC at Arrowhead. They haven't played bad. They're 5-5, which looks bad. They haven't played bad. They're just not winning the games they won last year.
Well, also, if you remember the Monday night game against the Jaguars, Trevor Lawrence literally fell down, got up, and ran it in the end zone. That's like how they've been losing all year.
The NFL has so many really close games. Yeah. They got that figured out. All right, we'll come back and preview Saints and Falcons next.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
Highland Insurance Group, HighlandIG.com. This hurricane season is in the rearview mirror. We like that. Quiet around here. The quietest I can ever remember, but you always know the next one's coming. So this might be a great time without a lot of pressure and with the fact that the insurance companies know that we had a hurricane season that went through to go ahead and look at that property policy and make sure for next year, whenever your renewal is, you've got the proper coverages. The property policy can be complicated. Co-insurance, building valuations, deductibles, whether it's a named storm, whether it's just a flat 2%, if you can move that deductible up and down for the right premium based on your risk appetite. These are things you need to talk to your broker about if you haven't had those discussions or don't know what some of that stuff is. The Highland Insurance Group, Jonathan Carbo and his team are happy to help you out. They're technical experts in insurance, and they are there to help you make sure that your coverage is where it needs to be. They will always take premium into account. They've got dozens of markets they can place your property into, but they're going to make sure the coverage reads properly as well. It's the Highland Insurance Group. Find them online, HighlandIG.com.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, They've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Banking on the go? Our mobile app makes it effortless. But at Campus Federal, you're more than just an account number. We build relationships with our members, supporting you from saving for college to owning your first home. If you're buying a car, planning a home renovation, or a vacation, we're here to help. Campus Federal Credit Union, your trusted financial partner for every stage of life. Start your journey today.
Attention diesel mechanics, River Parish Contractors has an immediate full-time opening with benefits. Valid licenses and TWIC card is required to apply. Call or text Big Jake today at 985-479-9858 or go to rpcontractors.com and click on Apply Now. Come be part of the team that values hard work, has a high standard of excellence, and delivers projects on time and safely. River Parish Contractors. Let's get building.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Hi, this is Beth Serena. Welcome to my pool. The first time I saw this beautiful pool, it exceeded every expectation that I had. They were able to get everything we wanted in this pool. It is a beautiful pool. We live out here. We eat out here. We watch TV out here. This is like our living room outside. We love this pool and everything about it.
You're listening to The Hunt Palmer Show, brought to you by Quirks, Cajun fried fish and shrimp.
Friday show is brought to you by Corks, Cajun fried fish and shrimp. We'll get my SEC picks against the spread coming up here in 13 minutes. A light week in terms of picks because everyone's out of conference. You're playing an FCS team. There's no line. So it's not a huge week of picks, but I'll give you my losers when we come back on at the top of the hour. Usually they say I'll give you my winners. I'll give you my losers when we come back at the top of the hour.
Well, just be like, fade them. Just fade them.
Exactly. That's what we're here for. I'll tell you this. I am a very, very mild-mannered person. I'm very, very, very non-confrontational. I've told you all the time that we do this personality test here at Guarantee. There are 9 numbers on this Enneagram scale, and every one denotes another personality, and I'm a 9. And 9 is just completely non-confrontational. That's how I choose to live my life, or maybe just the way I'm programmed. Either way, it's the way it is. But I do love hatred in sports. Hatred in the real world, I have no use for. And it's bad. Hatred in sports, I'm in. We go play, and then you figure things out, you move on. But I love rivalries, and the Saints and Falcons is a great rivalry. I think it's a rivalry that the NFL doesn't quite understand. It doesn't get as much pub as some of the others. You're not going to hear Bears-Packers vibes here, Cowboys-Eagles, Cowboys-Giants. Even like in recent years, you've had incredible games between the Rams and 49ers and all those games out in the NFC West, those good teams. Of course, you got, Peyton and Brady, but like Peyton Manning and Brady. But like the Saints and Falcons is an awesome rivalry because these two teams hate each other. These two fan bases hate each other. And I like that a lot. And I'm very, very curious to see what the Dome looks like on Sunday because I think the Dome's going to bring juice on Sunday. It has not had juice all year. I think it brings juice on Sunday. Coming off a bye, You've got this new quarterback. Everyone's excited about it. And here's the deal. I think on Sunday, you get a decent look at some of the young pieces on this Saints offense. Spencer Rattler is not going to be out there. It's going to be Tyler Shuck. You do have Kelvin Banks at left tackle. Taliesin Fuaga is still questionable. We'll see. Hopefully he can play at right tackle. That's another piece we're talking about here. Devin Neal is going to get some run in this game behind Kamara. And you don't have Brandon Cooks, and you don't have Rashid Shaheed. So you've got Olave, who they're talking about an extension with. And then behind him, you've got Devon Vele and Mason Tipton. Now, the Saints may move forward next year and not have much of a role for Devon Vele or Mason Tipton. Like, that's possible. But this is your chance to look and see. So I'm excited to watch Tyler Shuck operate at home against a fairly vulnerable Falcons pass defense that Bryce Young torched, and see what these young guys have. Just see a little chemistry. Now, the Saints offensive line is going to have to protect because the Falcons can rush the passer. But I'm excited to see the Saints' young nucleus go to work. You flip sides of the ball, and you got Kirk Cousins out there, no Drake London. You got to stop Bijan Robinson. That's goal number one. And if you don't do that, then you're cooked. But you've got to do that like you did in Carolina a couple of weeks ago. There's one player who I think stands out in this game. One player for the Saints on the defense. It's Chase Young. You've got to go get up the field and get after Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins can't move. Kirk Cousins cannot evade the pressure. Kirk Cousins will make questionable decisions if you get after him. And Kirk Cousins can get flustered. We've seen this as well. Full dome, Chase Young coming off the edge. That's got to be the recipe beyond Bijan Robinson for this Saints team. I was really curious what the line was going to be on this game. And to see the Saints favored by 1.5, you got the home field advantage in there, means that Vegas thinks this is basically a toss-up. And I see it that way as well. It's a Falcons team that's grossly underperforming. It's a Saints team that's what we kind of all figured they might be in August. I'm okay with the Saints winning games. But those wins need to come with affirmation in Shuck. I'm not super wild about Shuck throwing 2 picks and the Saints winning 13-7. Like, that would be a great effort from the defense. The defense is aging. I'm thrilled with what they did in Carolina, but I can't count on that moving forward. Every win needs to come with Shuck improvement. You got that in Carolina. It was his first start. He made some throws on third down. He improvised a little bit. He hit a couple plays down the field. That's all very good. If you're going to win and compromise that draft situation, which I'm fine with, I'm not tanking. But wins need to come with affirmation in Shuck. I'm okay backing that draft pick up to 5, 7, 9 if you got your quarterback. And I won't know Sunday evening at 7:30 p.m. if the Saints have their quarterback. I won't know that. I won't know that they don't either. But I need to see steps forward. And I think this is an opportunity to do it. This might be the most juice the Saints play in front of and play in all year, as far as in their home stadium. Because everyone knows they're not going to the playoff, but this is the Falcons coming in, and that means something to the people in New Orleans. And there's a little bit of buzz coming off the bye. As I mentioned to Luke Johnson in our interview yesterday, the Saints haven't lost in a while. It's been 3 weeks since the Saints lost. There's some good vibes. Let's keep those going on Sunday. I have picked the Saints to win more times than I care to admit this time around, but I'm doing it again. I picked the Saints to win 27-20 in this game. They got to stop Bijan Robinson. Chase Young's got to get after Kirk Cousins, and let's see if Shuck can cook with those young receivers. I'd like to see Vele make some good third down catches. Maybe one of those Mason Tipton plays we hear about every August. Mason Tipton got loose again. Mason Tipton another touchdown. Hear about that in practice all the time. Let's see it in the dome. A little bit of Devin Neal, a little bit of Kamara. Maybe I'm drinking the Kool-Aid after the bye week. I'm not going to complain about that. I'm not going to apologize for that. I like the Hoodats to win this game over Atlanta. A little bit of a party in the dome. And let's see if they can create a little momentum in the second half of the season against a very, very manageable part of the schedule. That's my pick for Saints and Falcons. Jordan?
Yeah.
It's a late game. Could be a nap game for you.
No, not this one. This is the Saints versus Falcons. And you just say you're drinking a Kool-Aid. Well, thankfully, we have a Kool-Aid on the team who I feel like is going to have a big game. I also feel like, according to Football Database, it's 56-56 currently for the rivalry. I got the Saints winning this one. I had the Saints a let's say 24. Kirk Cousins off the couch, 17. I got the Saints 24-17. Tyler Shuck, you already know he's going to shuck them. But at the same time, this is key. You have to get to Kirk Cousins. If they cannot generate a pass rush, Chase Young, this is the time. Gradison, this is the time. You have to get to Kirk Cousins. Like you said, he's a statue. And that's the only way I really feel like the Saints are going to win this game if they cause havoc on Cousins.
Well, Cousins won't go back there very much if they can't stop Bijan. That's first. But they did that 2 weeks ago with Rico. Yeah. With Rico. So just give me more of that. But we've also seen a couple games. The Bears game is just like burned in my brain. Yeah. Like I watched the game, but then before I talk about it, I usually go back and watch the highlights. And the Bears just handing the ball off, and the running backs were just getting a running start, like 15 yards. Like
Manungai and
you never
Swift.
see that in the NFL. Well, you were seeing it that day. All right, Saints, let's see if you can get it done on Sunday. We'll step aside for national headlines at SportsCenter. My phone's blowing up. We'll see if something's going on. I don't know. But we will do SEC picks against the spread probably when we come back on this Friday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
Flight by Yingling is raising the bar by crafting the next generation of light beer. With only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Flight by Yingling. Raise the bar.
My father, J.B. Falgu, had a vision of growth for First American Bank and the communities we serve. The bank's foundation was built on his legacy of compassion, loyalty, and dedication. Through his years of leadership, First American has prospered to heights even J.B. could not have imagined. I know my father would be extremely proud of the customer service and financial stability that First American provides to Southeast Louisiana. We continue to thrive because of the legacy of J.B. Falgu.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972. Service Chevrolet Cadillac, our family serving your family.
For over 50 years.
In South Louisiana, you can always count on good people coming together to help our children.
At Dreams Come True, we grant wishes for Louisiana children with life-threatening illnesses. But to do this, we need funds.
That's why we're trying to raise $100,000 for Dreams Come True by giving away the Blessed Builders School.
Make your backyard's dream come true while helping our kids.
Just go to dreampoolla.com and you can find out how your $25 donation might help win you a Duplessis pool.
BRAC teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. BRAC, your #1 park system in the nation.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
I'm Lawyer Locke Meredith. We are honored and humbled to receive from our clients in Google, based on 5-star client reviews, the designation of our law firm is highly recommended. Whether you hire us at all, please give us a call, 272-5555. You have nothing to lose.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Meredith.
Injuries happen when you least expect them to, making your life more complicated. At Lock Meredith Sean Fagan and Associates, we know this and we strive to help each of our clients during these times. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call at 272-5555.
Raising Cane's is our victory meal. Football fans are some of the most dedicated fans in sports. It's a fundamental quality we share, and that fuels every single order of our hand-battered chicken fingers. Wherever there's football, there's Raising Cane's. One love. Let's go.
Sports Center. I'm Ed Benkin. We start with news from the NFL and injury news with quarterbacks. Pittsburgh's Aaron Rodgers is listed as questionable for Sunday's game against the Bears. He has a slight fracture in his left wrist. Jackson Dart is out for Sunday's game in Detroit. He is still recovering from a concussion, so the Giants will start Jameis Winston in his place. Bengals quarterback Joe Burrow is also questionable for Sunday's game against the Patriots. He was limited in practice today after being a full participant the last 2 days. Teammate T. Higgins says he looks ready.
Joe's been looking good. I mean, he looked good last week when he was practicing. I'm happy for him. You know what I mean? Just to get his feet back wet, and it's been good.
Meanwhile, Lions coach Dan Campbell says it is likely tight end Sam Laporta will not return the rest of the season. He had recently undergone back surgery. WNBA news, according to ESPN Shams Charania, the New York Liberty are hiring longtime Warriors assistant Chris DeMarco to be their new head coach. In hockey, as first reported by TSN and confirmed by ESPN, Winnipeg goalie Connor Hellebuck will be out 4 to 6 weeks undergoing surgery for his knee.
Hey, it's Michelle Smallman, and coming up Monday, the 49ers and Panthers are both fighting for a playoff spot in the NFC. I'll tell you why both these teams have so much riding on this matchup. It's Unsportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Now, The Hunt Palmer Show.
Waiting to rise again.
You're listening to The Hunt Palmer Show. Brought to you by Corks, Cajun fried fish and shrimp on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
This is the moment you've all been waiting for.
Locking down the middle of the day. Live from the Raising Cane studio. This is Hunt Palmer.
Hour 2, Football Friday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show, brought to you by Corks, Cajun fried fish and shrimp. One more hour to go here on the Hunt Palmer Show this week. Fired up, you're here with us. Hopefully that work week's in the rearview mirror. If not, we will get you to the finish line. I think for most of you, the work week really hasn't been going on for the last 2 days. You're not paying attention. You're listening to us. You're refreshing Twitter. You're on the message boards. You're not doing squat at work, so just leave. Like I'm just suggesting you just walk out. I hope you won't be terminated for that. There may be some of you that just took the day off today because you knew you weren't going to get any work done. You're just staring at the computer. That's okay. We're here for you. I appreciate it. We have a situation that I want to address here that has nothing to do with Lane Kiffin, nothing to do with LSU Western Kentucky, nothing to do with Saints-Panthers. Flight by Yuengling, delicious beer, official sponsor of Take It or Leave It, gave us some beers when they jumped on the show. We appreciate that. Delicious beers. A lot of them went home with me, went home with some of the sales staff, went home with some of the production staff, but there have been 3 cans in this bucket on set for months, dating back to, I think, May. We've had 3 cans of beer in this bucket. Wednesday, there were only 2. Somebody procured one of these cans, and it's no longer with us. Well, today, we go to the closet and grab this bucket out. There's no beers left. Some savage went in the closet and procured the 2 other beers. They took this first beer, took it home, made it cold, knocked it down, went, this is delicious. I think there's 2 more in the closet. And they came back 2 days later and took the other one.
Yeah.
Savages. I know how this place operates for Haldane on Friday, Foodie Friday. At like 8:40, he's done with whoever's down there on Talk 107.3, and everyone goes down there and starts looking around the corner to see what goodies are there. We had the potluck yesterday everyone brought some food. That stuff was devoured in 20 seconds. They're taking the beers out of the closet now.
Yeah.
We need to launch an investigation.
No, for real. I'm just more joked out of the fact you said there was 2 yesterday. That means that they came back and was like, yep, I got it.
It was one of those deals where you try it, you think, okay, I think I can get away with this.
Yeah.
They've been in the closet for 4 months.
Look, I'm going to be real. I didn't even know those were drinkable. That's how long they've been
Just
sitting in that
beers
can.
have been sitting there. I pick one up every day to make sure I have the right numbers for calories and carbs. I haven't memorized. It's been 4 months.
I'm real. I just can't believe you said.
Who's your top suspect?
Top suspect. Will have to be somebody here late. Nah, I can't. It can't be. Can't be.
Who's your suspect?
I mean, it have to be one of the AFR guys. They're the ones that
Musso
just late.
is
I was
chief
about to
suspect
say,
number one?
It's either the AFR guys or it's the OTB crew.
Coming in early?
It's coming in here. We're here in the middle of the day. So it's either you're here late or you're here early. So it's like, that's the only options I could think of.
Maybe Alondra coming back from Nashville, had the hangover going. They've been partying up there along with their work, and she thought, I might just grab one of these Flight by Yinglings, knock it down during the morning show.
Don't even cool it down, just straight up to the dome.
Shotgunning it.
Straight dome.
We got to get on this case. Somebody in this building is stealing the beers that were supposed to be on this set, and now I got no beers. I got a great koozie here, got the bucket. I got no beers.
They should have just left the cans then. If you're going to drink, just bring the cans back so we can stuff them up or something.
Maybe one of those sales. I know those sales folks over there. They like to get their hands on some free stuff. I'm not ruling them out over there either. All right. Let's just talk about this. SEC picks against the spread. It's not going well. It's not going well. 1-5 last week. Season-long total 37-51. We're 14 games under 500. That's bad, and we can't catch up. It's over. We can't get to 500. But we can make our picks, and we can do so with dignity, pride, and class. And that's what we're going to do. 11 o'clock, ABC. Missouri is at Oklahoma. The Sooners are a 6.5-point favorite. Coming back home, a hero's welcome. They went to, what's that called? That's Knoxville and won. Then they went to Tuscaloosa and won. Now they're coming home. They're 4th in the country in run defense. Missouri is 6th in the country in rushing offense. Hardy ran for 3 bills last week on Mississippi State. But I think Oklahoma can slow that down. Missouri's not just going to be able to run it down Oklahoma's throat in Norman. Zollers, who's filling in for Beulah, is not throwing for squat. 112 last week, 77 the week before that. I don't think Missouri can score enough if they can't run it enough. I don't think they can run it enough. I don't think they can cover. Oklahoma minus the 6.5. Give me the Sooners. I think they may be going to the playoffs. We'll see if LSU can do something about it in 2 weeks. I don't feel great about that. All right, 11:45 SEC Network. Charlotte is at Georgia. Charlotte, the 49ers. What do we know about the 49ers? Well, we know that they're 1-9, and their only win this year is against Monmouth. However, I listen to Phil Steele every single Friday on After Further Review. Phil Steele says Georgia never covers when they're a monster favorite. Well, does 44.5 qualify? I think it does.
Monster.
Sounds like he's going against Kirby, going against Georgia. I guess I'll take Charlotte, the 49ers, the 1-9 49ers, plus 44.5. 2:30 ESPN, Kentucky at Vanderbilt. Biggest home Vandy game since when? They got the playoffs on the line. They're an 8.5-point favorite. Kentucky has won 3 straight games, by the way. And in those 3 games, they've only allowed a total of 20 points. This, to me, is a time of possession game. These teams want to run it. They don't want to go fast. They're not tempo teams. They want to grind it out. And I think that lends itself to the underdog. It's going to be a low-scoring game. Run the football, run the clock, keep it close, maybe a turnover here or there. I don't like betting on Kentucky because I think Kentucky stinks out loud. But they're getting 8.5 points. And I think Kentucky will cover that in an ugly, ugly football game between two teams that don't have a ton of talent. Vanderbilt, if they win this game, they go to Knoxville next week with a shot at the playoffs on the line. Crazy stuff for Clark Lee and Vanderbilt. 3:15 SEC Network. Coastal Carolina is at South Carolina. The Chanticleers, I know them well. Saw them play 2 games in Omaha. They went beautifully in those 2 games. I loved watching them play. It was quite a delight in Nebraska. That was baseball. This is football. So this is South Carolina. I don't know how they get off the mat. They've lost 7 of their last 8, and they choked on applesauce in a way that was indescribable last week in College Station. How in the world can you show up for practice on Tuesday after you do that in College Station? I don't know. I don't know. They're 24.5-point favorites in this game. Coastal can run the ball a little bit. I don't know that South Carolina is going to score 35 points in this game. I think this is pretty easy. Give me the Chanticleers to cover 24.5 against a team that has got to have checked out on Shane Beamer. After that last week, come on, man. Give me the Chanticleers. 6:30 ABC night game, Tennessee at Florida. This is weird in November. I guess LSU in Florida kind of took this one's place. This is a September game. This has been a September game for a long time. To move it back toward the end of the season, Tennessee has not won in Gainesville since 2003. It's been a full Cassie lifetime since Tennessee won in Gainesville.
2003.
I was a sophomore in high school. Remember it well. Fighting Tigers, national champs that year. Love to see it. That's in the rivalry, Tennessee's only won 3 of the last 20 total.
What?
They just don't handle Florida at all. Now, these two pass defenses stink. The Vols are the worst in the SEC. Florida is 12th in the SEC in completion percentage allowed. Bad pass defenses. The difference is Tennessee really throws it well. They can beat Florida with that. Florida can't throw the ball. DJ Lagway, I think Tennessee goes to Gainesville and gets this monkey off their back. Give me Tennessee minus the 4.5. There is nothing in recent history that suggests that's a good play. Yeah. But again, I'm the worst gambler who potentially has ever lived. So here I am making another bad play. I'll take it. Vols minus 4.5. Maybe it's one of those games. You know how you exercise the demons in a game and you just blow the doors off somebody?
Yeah.
This might be it. Vols by 20.
Man.
Florida doesn't have a coach.
They don't. But also they played Ole Miss pretty well.
They did.
Play Ole Miss pretty well.
They were auditioning for what they thought was going to be their next coach.
Thought Lane was coming.
It was an audition. No such luck. Everybody in Gainesville's doing the same thing all my listeners are doing. They're refreshing Twitter, trying to figure out who they're going to hire. They're getting meetings with John Summerall. They're canceling meetings with John Summerall. They don't care about this game. How many people are going to be in Ben Hill Griffin Stadium? 11?
11?
Come on. Vols, minus 4.5. Give it to me.
Oh, man. I hate to buy into the fade hunt. I might have to fade you on that one because once you brought up those
if you had faded me for 13 weeks, you'd be rich.
Yeah,
you wouldn't be here.
You're right. Hey, but look. Once you said those historical stats about it, that's how I was like, ooh, okay, well, But I do see a world where they do go there, get the monkey off their back, and right their wrongs, and extradite. Get rid of that demon. But at the same time, man, I don't think Florida's playing that bad unless they play one of those upper echelon teams. I don't think Tennessee.
Florida got beat by Kentucky by 9,000.
Yeah. That was nasty. That was a nasty loss.
Kentucky.
Yeah, that's extremely nasty. But Kentucky been playing some good ball lately.
Oklahoma minus 6. Charlotte, the 1-9 49ers, plus 44.5.
Yeah,
Kentucky
like
plus 8.5. Coastal Carolina plus 24.5. Vols minus 4.5. I have wagered on Coastal Carolina, Mark Stoops' awful Kentucky team, and Charlotte, who is unconscionably bad. That feels great.
I can't wait till next week to see what you think about Vanderbilt versus Tennessee. That's what I want to see.
Here's what the line is. We'll see. I'll get it wrong. Don't worry. I'll miss it. I'll lose it. We might get 20 games under 500 at this rate.
Oh, hold on.
It's possible.
No, let's not do that. Let's not put the bad in the air.
I can't help it.
Unfortunately, Hunt, the numbers don't lie. I can't even hype you up. The numbers do not lie.
And people may say, man, I feel so bad for your kids. You're gambling away their entire life. Nope, I don't put a single dollar on it because I know I suck. Self-awareness, very important.
Yes.
Take a timeout, come back, talk some LSU Western Kentucky next.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
Genesis of Baton Rouge, genesisofbatonrouge.com. They don't suck. They're awesome. Genesis of Baton Rouge is great. They're on airline at PQ. If you're in the market for a new vehicle, you're probably going to be on airline. Just take one more stop at PQ. Stop on by and see this incredible line of vehicles. I'll take you one further. If you've got a road trip coming up for Thanksgiving next week, got a road trip coming up for Christmas, and you don't want to put those miles on your vehicle, plus just want to see what Genesis is all about, perfect. Get a rental. Short-term rental. Drive your family around. GV80 is an awesome road trip vehicle. And see the difference in Genesis. It's a luxury brand at a reasonable price. You will see that luxury brand up close and personal if you get a rental from Genesis of Baton Rouge. The entire fleet is online at genesisofbatonrouge.com, including all the pictures, all the pricing, all the information. It's all there. It's genesisofbatonrouge.com. Airline of PQ. It's Genesis of Baton Rouge.
Hi, this is Beth Serena. Welcome to my pool. The first time I saw this beautiful pool, it exceeded every expectation that I had. They were able to get everything we wanted in this pool. It is a beautiful pool. We live out here. We eat out here. We watch TV out here. This is like our living room outside. We love this pool and everything about it. When we decided to build our pool, we called a great friend who is one of the best pool builders in the country. in North Louisiana, and we said, who would you choose to build a pool in Baton Rouge? And without a hesitation, he told us Russell Pools. He said their history, tradition of great builds, great pools was unmatched. So of course, who did we call? Russell Pools. The advice I would give to anyone looking to build a pool is first call Russell Pools. They'll do an incredible job. It'll be incredibly organized. It'll be time efficient, and you will have your pool in no time.
Lockmair to Sean Fagan and Associates has won for our clients over $175 million over the decades, but our greatest success is our clients who have chosen and trusted us to help them. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call. You've got nothing to lose.
Hi, I'm Sean Fagan. If you get injured, you could be staring at medical bills, repair costs, and lost income. Life can be turned upside down. At Lockmair to Sean Fagan and Associates, we'll work to turn your world right side up. Hire us, and like thousands of our clients, you'll be glad you did.
Men, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can help you look and feel your best. Visit yourgoodwood.com and discover a renewed sense of vitality.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar, but instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
We typically think of stress as being bad for us. At Our Lady of the Lake and LSU, we are researching how certain types of stress, such as exercise, can be good for our immune health. By studying people under extreme stress, such as athletes, astronauts, service members, and first responders, we're learning how to improve the immune health of everyone. That's the power of research. That's the impact of champions. Together, we roar.
This is the Hunt Palmer Show, brought to you by Corks, Cajun fried fish and shrimp.
I am chuckling to myself here. Somebody just sent me a screenshot of a Tiger Droppings thread with my name on it that said, Hunt just said his phone is blowing up and then went to break. It's happening. I've got a little bit of disappointing news for those of you out there. That was my wife and her friends arranging a brunch in December in New Orleans. It doesn't have a lot to do with the coaching search. I think there might be shrimp and grits involved, potentially a mimosa or two. I'd love it if there was a cold beer involved as well. Not a lot of Lane Kiffin news. My phone was blowing up. There was like 14 texts. They were all back and forth about reservations, times, places we might go, whether or not the kids could get babysitters. It was blowing up. I wasn't lying. It just didn't have anything to do. That's the point. Like this, everyone's losing their minds over this, and I get it. I understand. It's something that we talked about 2 weeks ago. Like internally here, there is nothing that really generates as much excitement as a football coaching search. It surpasses a national championship game in terms of interest because the national championship game doesn't leave a lot of intrigue. You know who's playing, you know when it is, you know what that team's good at, you know what that team's good at, you know that, like, it doesn't give a lot of intrigue. This is the unknown, and everybody's waiting, and they don't know when it's coming or what's coming, and I mean, I saw Shay Dixon of the Bengal Tiger on 3 just said their thread that's been going for a few days has 2 million views. Like, 2 million! That's a lot! That's a lot of views. So we understand that everything we say is being listened to. We understand y'all are taking this very seriously. We are too. I didn't mean to mislead you grossly in that instance. My phone was blowing up. I said my phone's blowing up. We'll see what happens after the break. It was brunch talk. I apologize. I'm looking forward to the brunch. It should be a lovely brunch. It's not going to impact LSU's football team in the next 5 or 8 years significantly. I wouldn't suggest. So let's move a little bit forward. I'll kind of reset things if you're tuning in. You're like, well, what's going on with the coaching search? And this got a lot of attention too. I've gotten texts about this. I said at the top of the show that everyone is essentially on the same page that Keith Carter and Lane Kiffin have a meeting today. It was reported it was at 8:15. Some people are now saying that meeting was at noon. My contention was and I said this at the top of the show, it had nothing to do with reporting, nothing to do with inside sources, just connecting very easy dots because we see extensions signed all the time. My suggestion was if Keith Carter went in there to Lane Kiffin and laid out Ole Miss's case in whatever way that was, maybe it was just hearing Lane. I don't even know what they said in the meeting. I'm not in the meeting. But if the decision was made in the course of that meeting that, hey, we need a decision, and Lane's decision was to stay at Ole Miss, my contention was at the top of the show that you would get a signature and then a big tweet out from Lane, Keith, Ole Miss football, Ole Miss athletics, whatever. That would mushroom cloud, and that would be it. I didn't get the sense, just in knowing how these things work, that if Lane Kiffin and Keith Carter met at noon and Lane told Keith Carter at 1:15, hey, I'm going to LSU, or even, hey, I'm going to Florida at 1:15, like that would not immediately go out, right? It would not be something that Ole Miss, who had that information, were going to put out, so that was going to take some time. So my initial assertion at the top of the show was, if something happens while I'm on the air, while the Hunt Palmer show is on Friday, I don't think that bodes well for LSU. If things drag and then something leaks later in the day or Saturday or Sunday, that probably benefits LSU. Ole Miss will rush good news to the presses. They want this to stop desperately. They get bad news in that meeting, they're not rushing to the presses. So that's my contention, what I said at the top of the show. And I think that's an innocuous way to put things. I don't think I'm breaking any news here. I think that all makes a lot of sense. I'm just trying to tell y'all where I am on reading these tea leaves. You're reading on the internet that Florida's got a little bit of confidence. You've got some Ole Miss folks saying there's not a lot of confidence there. Baton Rouge has been feeling confident for the last 48 hours, I would submit. But nothing's happened. I did enjoy a piece that I don't know where he writes. Is he with the Jackson Clarion Letter? I'm not sure. It doesn't really matter. But it was a really good piece. One of the Ole Miss beat writers went to hot yoga this morning with Lane Kiffin. Not with him. He went to the hot yoga class that Lane Kiffin goes to. And they paid their $5 and got there mad. It was at 6:30 this morning. And he didn't go there to badger Lane. He just went there to write the story of what Lane Kiffin was doing that day. It's a really well-written piece. Sam Hutchins is the writer. And I can't remember what paper he's with, if he's with Jackson or Memphis or if he's with one of the online sources. I'm not sure, but Sam Hutchins wrote it. He went and talks about how Lane does his normal thing. And then Lane Kiffin had said in a press conference once upon a time that he loves hot yoga first to start the day because it's the hardest thing he does all day. And the end of the story that Sam writes is they were going to dump their towel in the trash on the way out. And he said, is this the hardest thing you'll do all day? And Lane looked at him and said, well, we'll see. Not the way my days have been going lately. And then that's the end of the story. It's really well written. I thought it was a great piece of journalism. He wasn't there to badger Lane. He just made one innocuous comment at the towel rack and then moved on and wrote the story. And Lane went on to work. And here we are. I guess that was 8 hours ago. What great math by me on the clock. But I thought it was a well-done piece. Not much has emerged. And I don't know when that answer's coming. I wish I could tell you when I thought it was, but I don't know that. We will certainly let you know if we do. My assertion at 1:03 when my show started was that Matt would have more between 3 and 6 than I do from 1 to 3, unless Ole Miss got their guy. It's 2:23. We don't have that. So we continue to push forward, and I'll move over briefly here to LSU in Western Kentucky, which I know is not at the top of all of your minds, but there is a football game Saturday night in Death Valley. This is a Western Kentucky team that has an identity on offense. They are an air raid offense. They love to throw the football. They're in the top 15 in the country in passing attempts. They're in the top 10 in the country in passing offense. They lost their starting quarterback, and they'll go with a backup. But the backup last week threw for 330-plus yards and 3 touchdowns. So this is going to be a game where you're going to see a lot of action from Montour Lane 1. I'm hoping he gets a pick. I'm trying to get that Thorpe board nailed down. I'm hopeful that shows up. Love to see action for DJ Pickett and PJ Woodland. But as I said in my first segment today, like we were talking about Harlan Berry, and I'm going, I really want to see him go nuts, and I'm hopeful that he's LSU's lead back next year, but I can't promise that because the transfer portal has a way of doing things. I'm hopeful that DJ Pickett and PJ Woodland are back next year. And I've never heard anyone tell me that they're not going to be back. I think it would help if Corey Raymond was back, candidly. But this is going to be a big game for them. They're going to be tasked with playing a lot of press coverage. They're going to be tasked with the ball in the air a lot. They're going to be tasked, quite frankly, with a lot of tackling in this game because Western Kentucky completes a lot of passes around the line of scrimmage, a lot of drags, a lot of things, a lot of screens, and they force your DBs to come up and tackle. And oftentimes, Conference USA DBs will miss tackles, and they create a lot of big plays with the catch and run. You want DJ Pickett and PJ Woodland to step up and tackle. And candidly, like, they're not the biggest guys in the country. Now, they're plenty size to deal with Conference USA wide receivers, but I'm curious to watch them play on Saturday night. I'm hopeful they're the two guys that are starting next year against Clemson. And this is a big step for them because the ball is going to be in the air a lot. I don't think Western Kentucky is going to be chucking it at Mansour Lane, but I sure hope they do. I want more Thorpe Awards in that trophy case. I want DBU to re-become the fabric of LSU football, in the fabric of LSU football. And Corey Raymond's the guy to do that. He has done it, and I think Mansour Lane deserves it. I can tell you this. I expect the ball to be in the air 40, 45 times for Western Kentucky on Saturday. That's a lot of opportunities to tip one in the air, a lot of opportunities to make a play on the ball, a lot of opportunities to make tackles. And I'm hopeful that Mansour Lane, DJ Pickett, and PJ Woodland are able to do that on Saturday night. When it comes to the safeties, I think those guys have played great football all year. I think that LSU matches up really well in this game. I'm not going to go too deep into matchups with Western Kentucky, and it's just not something that anyone wants to talk about because it's a Conference USA team at the end of your schedule. But that part of the game, Western Kentucky's strength is going against LSU's strength, and I want to see those guys play well. The other piece to this, and I spoke to Aman Anand earlier today, who's LSU's senior special teams analyst. He coaches the special teams, and he's dealt with Damian Ramos this year. But Damian Ramos has LSU's scoring record all time. He has LSU's field goal record all time. He holds the record for most consecutive extra points made. The one kicking record that he has left in his sights is Colt David's all-time extra points mark. He's 6 short right now. And you look at Oklahoma, and there are only 3 teams in the country, I should say, that allow fewer touchdowns than Oklahoma this year. That's going to be a tough assignment for LSU, likely with a backup quarterback going to Norman to score 4 or 5 touchdowns. The 4 or 5 need to come in this game so that the 1 or 2 can come in the next game so you can get that 6. I would assume pretty strongly that Damian Ramos would play in LSU's bowl game. I don't know that. Anyone could opt out. His risk of injury is fairly minimal. Yeah, you plant that leg and somebody comes in diving, you can have something go wrong. You can Martin Gramatica it and jump in the air and tear the ACL, obviously. I'm not trying to speak that into existence. I shouldn't have said that. It's my bad. Just trying to make a joke. Bad joke. But Damian Ramos, I would figure, could play in the bowl game at kicker. And I'm hopeful that he can get those 6 extra points because that's a guy who's been a really good kicker for LSU, who's got a lot of records to his name, who we spoke with last week and was just incredibly candid and great to talk to, and just a guy that I pull for off the field and now on the field. And I'm hopeful that he can get those 6 extra points. It's going to be tough in Norman next week, but you would think in 3 games he could get 6 extra points. I would love for LSU to put 4 or 5 touchdowns on the board in this game on Saturday night so that he could get 4 or 5 extra points and perhaps break that record in Norman. That would be really cool. It's not something that we pay a lot of attention to. We're looking at Garrett Nussmeier climbing up the LSU passing charts, and I thought second place was really a possibility for Garrett Nussmeier. It looks like he's going to come up just a little bit short because of the injury, but Ramos is right there, and he can absolutely make a push for that, so hopefully he does that as well. So kind of broken this game down as many ways as I think it's reasonable to. I want to see LSU run the football against a terrible run defense. I want to see LSU's young DBs play tough against an air raid offense, and I want to see Damian Ramos kick extra points. No red zone field goals in this game. I don't want to see him. LSU settled for way too many of those this year. Hopefully they can punch it in for 6 in the game on Saturday night. Still no news on the Lane Kiffin watch. We got 30 minutes left to go. We'll come back, play some Take It or Leave It. My LSU and Western Kentucky pick is coming up at the end of the show. Stick with us. The Hunt Palmer Show.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
All right, my last time telling you. Swing Easy Golf Club in Baton Rouge, 11 o'clock on Sunday. The Saints are late. This is before the Saints kick off. I'll be at Swing Easy Golf Club in Baton Rouge. I'm trying to make a hole-in-one on number 7 at Pebble Beach, one of the most famous holes in golf, 103 yards. We'll have it set up. We'll be streaming live on our Watch 104.5 ESPN YouTube channel. You can check that out there. But what you need to do right now, if you want to win 104.5 ESPN swag bag, you want to win hoops tickets, you want to win a 2-hour session at Swing Easy, go on our Instagram or Facebook page, one or the other, 104.5 ESPN, Instagram or Facebook, and enter how many shots you think it will take me to win a hole, to get a hole-in-one. You can see a demo shot in the post. You can take a look at that and see what you think. It's a 100-yard shot. Not close, but I think I can make one. I may be an idiot. We'll see on Sunday. You're welcome to come out to Swing Easy. They got cold beers there. They got seating. You can come hang with us, or you can watch us live, or you can just enter and see if you win. We'll contact you when that comes. But it's 11 o'clock on Sunday, Swing Easy Golf Club in Baton Rouge. Very much looking forward to getting out there and hitting some golf shots. Hopefully it's more like 300 golf shots and not 5,000 golf shots. But we'll see. Swing Easy Golf Club, Segan at Perkins, swingeasygcbr.com.
Supreme Jasmine is premium American-grown rice. From local farms to your table, every grain is supreme. Pick up a bag of Jasmine or any other of our Supreme American rice.
This menu is a masterpiece, delivers every time.
This is the worst party ever. Raisin Cane's!
Let's go!
The party is saved!
Peter, Mr. Billingsley.
Celebrate the holidays with Raisin Cane's chicken fingers. One love.
You gotta believe in the dream. Believe. You gotta believe in the dream. Believe. You gotta believe. My whole team on wildin'.
I'm lawyer Collins Locke Meredith. Among the most important factors to consider when you're hiring an injury attorney is trust. You trust your attorney will put your interest first, treat you with respect, fairness, and honesty. You trust them to be there for you when you need them. At Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan & Associates, thousands of clients have trusted us to represent them, and for good reasons. Please visit us at LockeMeredith.com to learn more, and whether you hire us at all, give us a call at 272-5555. You have nothing to lose.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
Today, we are shaping tomorrow.
We are researching how extreme stress impacts the immune system, from trauma victims to athletes and even astronauts.
Our work is leading the way in sepsis treatment, saving countless lives.
We're unlocking the mind with music in exciting new ways.
Our Lady of the Lake Health and LSU are improving the health of our state.
That's the impact of champions.
Imagine the impact we'll have on the future. Together, we roar.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
You're listening to The Hunt Palmer Show, brought to you by Corks, Cajun fried fish and shrimp.
Friday show is brought to you by Corks, Cajun fried fish and shrimp. Got a hankering for a po' boy. Big jumbo shrimp po' boy. Nothing better than that. Corks has a phenomenal po' boy. Jumbo golden fried shrimp. Got the lettuce, tomato. Mayo is my preference. I feel like that's pretty generally accepted. Some people are weird about mayonnaise. I got to have mayo on the po' boy. Tell me you got mayo on your po' boys.
No, sir.
Oh, my goodness gracious. You got some kind of condiment on there?
It depends on, like, if it's a hamburger po' boy or hot sausages, I may have a little mayo, but shrimp, no, I can't do that.
Just doing it dry?
Oh, no. I mean, I got, like, cheese. I got, like, definitely cheese on my shrimp po' boy, yes.
That's okay. I'm fine with that.
I'm about to say yes. Little ketchup, little lettuce.
Okay, ketchup's fine.
Yeah, a little ketchup, lettuce. That's all I need, really.
I don't need a sandwich with no mayonnaise.
Maybe hot sauce. Maybe hot sauce.
Cassie, I think, is trying to chime in here.
I also put mayonnaise on my.
Gotta have
on your shrimp po' boys.
I do.
Of course.
Oh my lord, what is going on here?
Mayo is the best.
It's cool.
I don't want to see it made, but I want to eat it.
It's like that cousin you see every now and then. You're like, oh, he is cool. I remember him, but it ain't like I ain't trying to hang with you all the time.
Gotta
but,
have it.
You're cool.
Gotta have it. All right. I was gonna say something, but I forgot what it is. So let's play Take It or Leave It.
Mayonnaise.
Take it or leave it.
Take it or leave it.
Presented to you by Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer, crafted by America's oldest brewery. Today's hottest stories in sports, news, and sometimes even Hunt's life. The question is, will he take them or leave them?
One of the scoundrels in this building is drinking a Flight by Yingling right now because they stole it off our set. 3 beers, gone. You can have one too, and you won't have to steal it from our set. Just go pick one up because it's delicious, it's light, it's refreshing, it's Friday, it's time for a Flight by Yingling. It's the next generation of light beer. You're talking about 95 calories, 2.6 carbs. Didn't even need the can for that, which I usually rely on, but I remembered. That's what it is. It's awesome. Oldest brewery in America. Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer.
All right, let's kick this bad boy off with flight tracking. Take it or leave it.
I got to leave it. Y'all got to chill with the flight tracking. Y'all were freaking out today. Somebody had the ultimate troll. Matt's reported on this, but y'all were all freaking out. There was a Baton Rouge plane that went to Oxford, and then it was leaving Oxford, and it was headed for Gainesville, and then it didn't go to Gainesville, and it came back to Baton Rouge, and apparently it was some guy going to get a dog. And he knew y'all were going to be tracking his flight because you know every time somebody goes from Baton Rouge to Mississippi in the next 5 minutes, everybody's freaking out about it. So he put Gainesville in the flight plans to just screw with y'all, and you all fell for it. Y'all need to get some work done. Don't do that. Don't look at the flight tracker. They're going to be better than that. That was a pretty aggressive move by the Kiffins to blatantly fly out of Oxford.
Yeah.
But that's nobody's hiring Lane Kiffin today, okay? They're not flying to Oxford to go get Lane Kiffin today, okay? Just get off the flight tracker. It's going to be on Twitter. Twitter is where this is going to happen. I'm just telling y'all.
I just want to know how you're going to say people have to get work done. When you told everybody in the start of the segment just to leave work, everybody just leave. Like, who cares?
Because you were freaking out about the flight trackers at work, so I know you're not doing anything, so then you got to just leave.
Just leave at that point.
I gave up.
Okay.
Y'all are tanking the economy. Yeah. Looking at flight trackers. Get out of here with that, people. You're better than that. Maybe you're not better than that.
Nah. People got a lot of free time. Lincoln Riley and USC will stun Oregon and Eugene on Saturday. Take it or leave it.
I will leave it.
Ooh.
Leave it alone.
Hester thinks they're physical. I think they're pretty physical, too. And Oregon, by the way, has beat up on some bad teams. They played some good teams. They've won some really close games. This doesn't feel like last year's Oregon team. The point spread may be too much. It's up there around 10. That might be too much, but they're not going to win the game. USC's not going to win the game.
10 is a lot, though. I got to go look into that spread. Okay, so will LSU break 90 points tonight against Omaha? Take it or leave it?
I'm going to leave it tonight. They've done it the first 4 games. I think Omaha's a little bit of a step up. It'll be a big game for Marquell Sutton. This is his team. He was a Summit League Player of the Year last year for Omaha. Okay. They don't have him. They lost their first 3 games of this year. They've beaten up on a couple of patsies here in the last couple of games. Not the team they were when they made the NCAA tournament last year, but they're a little bit better than like Alcorn State, who LSU played back on Tuesday. So I think LSU will score in the 80s. I think they'll win the game comfortably. I don't proclaim they will break 90 again. I'm excited to watch the game tonight, going with the Myers man tonight. We'll see how LSU plays. I'll be encouraged if they go out there and score over 90 points. They need to shoot it a little bit better tonight. They are having a lot of success throwing it into Nwoku and dunking on 6'7" guys.
Yeah.
That doesn't work in the SEC. You got 7-footers down there in the SEC, so you got to run some offense. You got to create some shots. You got to make some shots. And LSU right now is not making enough shots. They're doing a good job getting to the free throw line. They're making their free throws, which I like. They're getting Nwoku involved, and he's showing some touch around the rim, which I like, but he's bullying smaller teams and smaller players.
Yeah.
Incidentally, I learned this today as I was going through some research on the Omaha Mavericks. I was on their campus back in June watching LSU practice. That was where I shot the video of Jared Jones taking that late BP before he had that awesome game against Arkansas. That's where it was at Omaha's baseball field, right across from their basketball stadium, or arena, I should say. But I forgot what I was going to say.
You was talking about Omaha.
Oh, Omaha.
Talking about
Their
Omaha.
second leading scorer. I looked at him. He's shooting 45% from three, leading the team in rebounds. Like, this is a good player. Let me click on the bio. Shreveport, Louisiana.
Okay.
Guy went to Evangel. He's now playing for the Mavericks up there in Omaha.
I have bad memories against Evangel. They knocked us out the playoffs twice in high school.
Did you tell Hester that?
Oh, all the time. He'd be like, "Oh yeah, you know, football school, yeah." You know how you get. So yeah, forget Evangel. Shout out to 318 though, part-time 318er. Yes. Okay, so moving forward, according to ESPN, league sources expect the Memphis Grizzlies to explore Ja Morant's trade market. Although there is a belief it will be difficult for the organization to get proper value in return for him, could Ja Morant be moved before Zion Williamson? Take it or leave it.
Leave it. I think both these teams are going down with the ship with these guys, and we thought this was a monster draft with these two at the top.
Yeah.
And they have made some plays. Like, they are good basketball players, but you can't trust them
at all.
You can't trust them off the court. You can't trust them on the court. You can't.
Yeah.
You just can't. Like, it could be a Thursday, and one of them goes for 46.
Yeah.
But then, like, what happens the next week? Who knows? Might be on the court. Might not be on the court.
Yeah.
Might be in the news. Might not be in the news. It was just those two have so much talent, and it's just kind of been like, not a great run. I don't think anybody in Memphis is thrilled with Ja. I know nobody in New Orleans is thrilled with Zion.
Nope.
Trade them for each other. Fresh start. See what happens.
That's like that's a bad problem to another bad problem at this point. Well, also, I will say this, though. That must be just some South Carolina stuff. They're both from South Carolina.
Yeah.
So maybe, you know what? We're just done with South Carolina people, even though we got maybe some South Carolina listeners out there. Okay. So Josh Allen was sacked 8 times yesterday and threw 2 interceptions versus the Texans last night. With Will Anderson, Derek Stingley, Kalen Bullock, and Kamari Lassiter, do the Texans have the best young core defenders in the league? Take it or leave it.
I mean, I'll take it. That's really good. Like, Philly's got some really good young players and some good players in their prime.
Yeah.
But the Houston Texans are a little bit of a blueprint for New Orleans. As far as they got a new coach in there, he's doing a good job. They've really hit on those high draft picks, which you just went through those. That's what you have to do. If you get some high draft picks, you've got to hit on them.
Yep.
You got to get Will Anderson, monster. You got to get Stingley. You've got to have guys that make plays. And Stroud has been, like, he came off like a rocket ship, and then he's been up and down. And obviously they're playing with Davis Mills now, but they're not awesome, but they did get a good nucleus that you can build around. They've got something to sell to free agents and a little bit of money to spend, and they've spent a lot as well. The Saints don't have that right now. That's why I'm excited for Sunday. As I talked about in my Saints segment, it's like this is a game for Shuck and Devin Neal and Devon Vele and Mason Tipton and Cliff Olave and Kelvin Banks. Like, you're all out there.
Yep.
Go get them. Let's see what you got.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to need it. We're going to need it. All hands on deck. So, John Summerall's been in the news a lot lately. No, this is not about the Florida thing, but he's been very unhappy with Tulane's recent play. Quote, "I'll just be very candid. There's some days I feel like we're one of the bottom 25 teams in the country watching us play." He said, "If we want to start feeling comfortable or casual about somebody wanting to vote us in the top 25, there must be a lot of bad football going on if we're one of the top 25 teams. We're average. We're an average team. Is Summerall being too harsh on the Green Wave? Take it or leave it."
I'll leave it. Tulane's not very good. They're not a great football team. Like, they're ranked in the 24th in the poll because now a lot of teams in the Power 4 conferences have lost a lot of games playing Power 4 teams. He played a Power 4 team in Oxford and got beat by 1,000.
And I had him that day, too.
Yeah, and like, they're not very good. They're never very good. It just is what it is. It's Tulane football. It's American Conference football. It's not very good. It's just the way that it goes. And we've got a lot of folks writing think pieces and going on Twitter and talking about, don't cut half the sport out. Well, half the sport is not good enough. They don't have NFL players. They're not good. And that's what Tulane is. They're not very good. So I agree with Coach Summerall.
Good. Okay. Speaking of another coach, will Lane Kiffin make his decision by Monday morning? Take it or leave it.
Take it.
I'll take it.
Like that dramatic pause?
Yeah, you got to think about it, though.
I did not have to think about it. I knew where I was going there the whole way. I do believe he will make a decision by Monday morning. I just don't think Ole Miss is going to let this fester. As I've said all week, and this is our closing thoughts on the thing for the week, unless something breaks in the next 11 minutes.
Yep.
And I think it'll be the last thing I say on it until it's finalized. he wants to coach LSU and he wants to coach Ole Miss in the playoff, and he can't do both.
Nope.
So one of those is going to win. The longer it drags out, I think LSU is going to win. If Keith Carter could play those cards right this afternoon or morning, whenever that meeting took place, I absolutely give Ole Miss a chance here. Florida feels confident. I don't sense that, but I'm not in Gainesville. I think Lane makes a decision today or tomorrow. They don't have a game Saturday, so that's important to realize. He makes a decision today or tomorrow, and it either leaks and hits on Twitter that it's LSU today or tomorrow, or Ole Miss puts pen to paper and then bombs it out on Twitter. Those are the two things that are going to happen. If you made me pick right now, I think Lane Kiffin will be LSU's coach.
Oof.
But easily he can change his mind. Well, easily he can make the other decision. I shouldn't say change his mind. I'm not here to tell you he's made up his mind he's LSU's coach. I'm here to tell you that he can certainly choose Ole Miss, but I'm here to also tell you that he wouldn't have drug Ole Miss through the mud for a week if he knew that that's where he was going to be. So we'll see. I guess we'll pause one more time, take one more time out, come back, finish things up with an LSU Western Kentucky thought and pick. It's the Hunt Palmer Show.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
One Bath and Closets. OneBathAndClosets.com is the website. David Duvall and his team, 30 years redesigning and remodeling bathrooms and closets. It's coming up on Christmas, thinking I have no idea what to do. Well, maybe a renovation to bathroom or a renovation to closet space might be something you're interested in. It's outside the box, and it can transform your bathroom or transform your closet. They can do full-scale renovations. They can take out showers, put showers in, take out tubs, put showers in, install a tub. They can handle the flooring as well, deal with the vanity and all the woodworking that goes into that. David Vaughn and his team are one-stop shops. You don't have to call 4 different contractors and figure out how to parse everything together. David handles it. They do big renovations. They'll do something small like a tub-to-shower conversion as well. Customized closets, that's in their bag too. Go check it out at onebathandclosets.com. You can see pictures of their great work and get that free consultation with David. Just a discussion. Here's what I'd like. Here's what you can do. David is happy to help you with that. Financing available 0% up to 18 months if you qualify. It's One Bath and Closets. You can find them online at onebathandclosets.com.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Sometimes you ignore the signs, even when they're right in front of you. Problem gambling isn't always easy to spot. Know the signs. Set your limit. Learn more about healthy gambling habits by visiting us online or text or call for free confidential help now.
Join us for Friday's AFR live from Don Juan Cigar Bar, presented by Sagamore Spirit Rye. We'll have craft cocktails and, of course, a fine premium cigar. Friday's AFR, presented by Sagamore Spirit.
I'm Gabrielle McLeod on behalf of the Louisiana Propane Dealers. I have spent hundreds of hours preparing for scholarship competitions. That preparation paid off when I won the Fitness and Talent Awards along with the title of Miss Louisiana. The Louisiana Propane Dealers are also pretty talented and want you to be prepared for when the power goes out. Visit LouisianaPropane.com to find out about propane generators and other safety tips. Louisiana Propane, it truly is the fuel for our future.
I'm Lawyer Locke Meredith. If you're battling an insurance company because of a wreck not your fault and they're not calling you back or being fair, whether you hire us at all, give us a call, 272-5555, or email Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates. You have nothing to lose.
Hello, I'm Collins Meredith. If you've been injured on the job, you'll likely have a workers' compensation claim, but you may also have a tort claim, which opens up significant recovery rights not normally available for a work injury. If this is you, call us or come see us at Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates.
My father, J.B. Falgu, had a vision of growth for First American Bank and the communities we serve. The bank's foundation was built on his legacy of compassion.
This is the Hunt Palmer Show, brought to you by Corks, Cajun fried fish and shrimp.
Let's just make this real clear, people. I don't need you sending me screenshots of Knox Kiffin with LSU headphones on. I don't need to see it. I don't care. I need real information. I don't need tea leaves. Y'all are beautiful. The internet is just a magical place and the worst place and a great place. And my livelihood is a place and a terrible place all at the same time. Just all about perspective, I guess. No Knox Kiffin headphones for me. We'll see. Going to be the U-High quarterback? Who knows? Maybe Catholic High. Maybe he goes up to Zachary. Who knows? I don't know. I don't know where Knox Kiffin's playing football. Might be with the Oxford Chargers. Could be in Nice. That's in Tampa. I don't know what's in Gainesville.
I don't know either.
Tim Tebow went to Nice.
So like American Heritage or something like that. I know that's Florida.
It is in Florida somewhere. But it appears my time is going to come and go without any breaking news. And as I said at 1 o'clock, if that happens, I would consider that a small positive for LSU. I'm not going to read too much into it. That's my nature. I think there are plenty of y'all out there. I just got my buddy sent me some graph, something I never heard of, poly markets or something. I don't know what that is either. I don't know any of that stuff. I just know LSU's playing basketball against Omaha tonight, and I'm fired up for it. Being the PMAC. Me and the Myers man. Chicken nuggets, French fries, ketchup all over the place.
Some cold leanings.
I don't know if they have those in the arena, but there's going to be something cold in my hand. I can promise you that. So I can promise you that. And then we'll have a great day tomorrow for game day, and I'll be on pins and needles for that too. It is what it is. And then I'll be on Sunday hanging out at Swing Easy Golf Club trying to make a hole-in-one live streaming. And if there hadn't been a decision made at that point, I'm still going to be I'm going to wear a mic on the stream, so I'm going to take questions on YouTube. So if you've got questions, comments, and stuff as I'm trying to make a hole-in-one like a lunatic, you can do that. So 11 o'clock on our stream on the 104.5 ESPN YouTube stream. Y'all come hang out on Sunday at 11 o'clock. Friday show is brought to you by Corks, Cajun fried fish and shrimp. Get on by Corks for your dinner tonight. Get a big old shrimp platter. Crispy shoestring fries. They got all the sauces you want. Cork sauce is awesome. They've got your tartar, your cocktail as well. You can also get those crispy fried catfish, honey butter rolls. Also got beignet bites, which are really good. Government between Foster and Jefferson. Cork's Cajun fried fish and shrimp. All right, last thoughts. LSU Western Kentucky in this game for tomorrow night. Last Saturday night in Death Valley. Hopefully a huge ovation for all the seniors, and that definitely includes Garrett Nussmeier. I made this plea last week, and I'll say it again briefly, but Garrett Nussmeier is going to go out there on the field, probably with no pads on, with his family, and get honored as a fifth-year senior who's put a lot into this program. He deserves an incredible ovation, and if you're considering something to the alternative to that, I would just strongly suggest you reconsider that. It's just not the time, not effective. He's put a lot into this and deserves a ton. He's the third all-time leader in the history of LSU in passing yards and did a lot of really good things in the purple and gold. But it goes for all of the LSU seniors deserve an incredible welcome and last game inside Tiger Stadium. My hope is that LSU bullies Western Kentucky. I want to see those offensive linemen getting downhill and knocking some hill toppers out of the way. You couldn't do it to Bama, fine. Couldn't do it to Arkansas, okay. Couldn't do it to Florida to an extent, okay, that's fine. But do it against Western Kentucky. Toledo ran for 300 yards on him. Get the ball to Harlan Berry. Get the ball to Caden Durham. Let's see Michael Van Buren function this offense a little bit. I'm curious to watch that from a running game perspective. I'm well aware that it may not mean that these guys are back and doing the same things next year with a new coach and new personnel, but I want to see some running game. And then it'll be a big day for LSU's passing defense. Western Kentucky's going to spread the field. They're going to throw the ball a ton. You got to get out there on the perimeter. You got to make tackles, and let's see if you can't get a pick or a couple of pass breakups from Mansour Delane, beef those stats up for a potential run at the Thorpe Award. I expect him to be a semifinalist. I hope he is a finalist. I hope he wins the award. I think he's been that good this year, and this is the final chance for us to go inside Tiger Stadium and see LSU play this year. It goes by really quickly. I can still remember sweating like crazy for the Louisiana Tech game. It was Meyer's first game. It was an awesome day on campus, and you feel like you got so much in front of you. Now you look up, and this is the last one. So for those that are going out there to fire up the tailgate one more time, unload the ice chest, enjoy a day on campus, do that. Season hasn't been exactly what we thought it was going to be, certainly in August, and then after LSU beat Clemson. But this is the last time to go inside Tiger Stadium and see him in a real game till next September. So I'm going to enjoy it. I'm going to enjoy the pregame show, enjoy the time in the stadium, hearing the band, watching the seniors come out, and then hopefully LSU plays a good football game. My pick for LSU and Western Kentucky, I think LSU plays pretty well in the game. I think LSU wins the game by a couple of scores. We got LSU in this one 38-20, LSU winning by 18. I think Western Kentucky will throw it a little bit, potentially get the ball in the end zone a couple times. 38-20, LSU wins on a Saturday night in Death Valley. We fire out the pregame show at 1:45 over on Eagle. That's it for us this week. We'll be keeping you updated on LouisianaSports.net as things develop over the weekend. Matt will have you covered for the next 3 hours. He's driving you home from Don Juan Cigar Bar on After Further Review. Everybody have a wonderful weekend. I know you'll be watching and listening. Hopefully we'll see you on Sunday from Swing Easy Golf Club. Have a great weekend. It's the Hunt Palmer Show.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed